Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and tonight we're going to take a look at Flash Forward number 5. It's a variant cover, it's kind of hard to see. I want to bring this up here because I think I've bought the variant covers for every book in the series. Um, for the most part, they've all been good. I, uh, I'm not really crazy about variant covers, I always say that, but I have really liked some of these covers. This one, not one of my favorites. However, the regular cover with him on the Mobius chair, I did not like that cover whatsoever. And of the two, this was the better one. Now, I always talk about the trading card cover, and sometimes I will make a pass if it's a cool looking cover. And this one just barely makes it by. One thing I do like about it, although this really looks like if you put a surfboard here, I swear I've seen this exact pose with the Silver Surfer. But one thing I thought was really cool about this was the exploding planet in the background, which actually makes it kind of look, thematically like the Flash symbol. So, not my favorite cover, but I think in this case the variant was better than the regular cover. I wish I had it at the ready, that I could show the difference. So I'm going to tell you this is issue 5 of a 6-part series, and there will be spoilers. There's no way I can go without talking spoilers on this book at this point because I'm a little bit worried about this. So, as you know, I have been really enjoying this series. I am a big Wally West fan. I was there when Crisis, when Barry Allen died. I'm like, oh god, and I didn't like Wally West. Like all comic fans, oh they changed it, now it sucks. Here's Jr. But what they did with Wally, and it was a very slow build. The other heroes gave him crap because he wasn't Barry. It was kind of like, they were the stand-ins for the readers. And they eventually had Wally go through the hardship, go through the growth, and grow into the Flash mantle. And then the other heroes accepted him. He had to prove himself. And that has been, over the past few years with a lot of these characters. You have everyone just instantly loves new character XYZ. Just walk all over that, JR. Go ahead, just walk all over it. Um, like with the Naomi character. She is suddenly the new hip thing and, the greatest. And she hasn't actually put in the time. She hasn't busted her chops. Wally has. And that's why everyone loved Wally. It was a slow progression. It took real time years to get him to that point. And then, of course, when Barry Allen came back, he got sidelined. Okay, people weren't happy, but at least he was still around. And then Flashpoint happened, and he was just off the table. He was gone. And then they introduced Wally West, but it's the black kid that matches up with the TV show. And of course, people weren't happy because the whole ginger apocalypse, I think they call it, where they're replacing redhead characters with black characters. Okay, JR, come on. And then with DC Rebirth, they brought back, oh no, there are actually two Wally West. And the one that you've known all this time has actually been trapped because of Dr. Manhattan's shenanigans. And then Heroes in Crisis happened, where they took the character and then just crapped on him more and made you wish he had stayed dead or in limbo or what have you. So I had to give all this and kind of go back through the history of this because this issue is a lot of history with Wally. Now, in the previous issues, we've had Wally going to the other planets to stop the dark multiverse incursions, but infections with that weird flashlight rod that Tempest gave him, which almost like a MacGuffin, but we did get cool things of seeing, excuse me, a little hiccup in my voice there, seeing weird, excuse me, I'm still getting over being sick, and just now my throat started acting up, so seeing all these different versions of heroes and that on other planets in the dark multiverse. But at the end of the last issue, we see there's a planet with Jay and Irie. Excuse me, I have to cough. Excuse me. It just wasn't going to last throughout the whole video. And with Jay and Irie, on a planet, it looks like they're still alive, and Wally reunites with them. So we start this issue off with kind of a recap of his history, how young Wally West got doused with the chemicals, you know, the million in one shot became a million in two, as I think how Mark Waid put it in his Flash run. And we have Tempest kind of talking about the history of the character, how he was a fan, became Kid Flash, eventually joined the Titans, joined, Barry died, he took up his mantle, joined the League, did all that, became the hero. One thing I love is they show Chunk. How awesome is that? I have to point this out because I am pretty sure that it's been almost 30 years since Chunk has appeared in the comic world. He was pretty big. Started out as a villain, became one of Wally's best friends, had a stammer, and I think it was on. I think after Messner Loeb's run that he just kind of fell off the earth. He might have made an appearance or two after that, but it's been about 30 years. I actually went over in my head about it, and I think, yeah, I think it was the early 90s. Wow. And then I had the thing that the early 90s were 30 years ago, and I was like, wow. But anyway, this issue is about Wally and his kids. So we see he's happy to have them back, reunites, but they told him at the end of the previous issue they have to run. They've been trapped on this planet. They have not been able to escape. And so as the dark matter is coming at them, they try to escape. And Irie uses her power, shares it with her brother, and we do get them back. It's feels good, man. It really feels good. Until the twins get separated from him, and he basically gets pissed off and goes after Tempest and says, "Hey, I've been doing your dirty work. I'm here on this planet. When he first arrived, there are all the statues of the people that he ended up killing in Heroes in Crisis, and he gives Tempest a what for." So and starts. Excuse me, I got a cough again. Excuse me. So it starts, even trying to take him down, and he says, screw this, and he starts trying to fix the planet because this is not a matter of the dark matter universe, the dark multiverse, whatever you call it, black gook, taking over a planet. This planet is actually made of that. And the reason why is that this is one of the planets he can't destroy. It's basically as he says, it's clogging the drain. These dark multiverse places, eventually crumble. They're supposed to. But this one's like clogging the drain. And the reason why Tempest has him taking care of it is, as Wally finds out, he gets to touch the Mobius chair. And he goes through his history, finds out, again, more continuation of his history, finds out what happened, Flashpoint. We see him in his post-Flash Rebirth costume and how he's trapped in the Speed Force. And he has this big revelation that he is unmoored. He is one with nothing and everything at once. Now, this would have been more of a reveal if Tempest hadn't been saying this all throughout the series. This is a revelation not to us as a reader, but to Wally. And Wally is, upset by this because he's been thinking he's been Tempest's lackey. That funny little bit, he even thanks the Mobius chair for the information. And we see that the Mobius chair, is it alive? Because Tempest tells him, that is more than even you can decipher at once. Be grateful it did not require you to sit. This time. So I guess the Mobius chair was okay giving him the information by just touching it. But we find out the big thing that Tempest has been, I don't want to say using, but having Wally as the instrument is because this planet, and this is actually kind of clever because somehow I don't know why I didn't make the connection. The dark multiverse, stuff is made out of fears and fear of loss, and this planet is actually made out of Wally's fears. So hence that's why the statues we've seen, we saw at the end of the previous issue, that we see in this issue, these statues, of course, it's all Wally's loss. He created this planet. And so now he is the one that has to destroy it. So all the other ones were building to this one, which puts Wally in this weird position. And this is why I said it's going to be spoiler. If he destroys this planet, his children are on that planet. But are they really his children? And it's kind of a weird Sophie's choice. If he destroys the planet, what's going to happen to his children? If those are even his children at all. They could just be more manifestations of this dark multiverse stuff. So we have one issue left to go on this, and here he is with his Sophie's choice. That the price you're asking, I can't, not now, not ever. Hoping to get more explanation of why he has his lightning is more cosmic looking. And this issue, as previous issues have been more about the world jaunting, it's almost been a little bit MacGuffin, but it's been fun. It's been great to see Wally, back in action, being restored. And he even talks about this being his redemption, and that his mind, he knew all along he was unmoored, but with everything going on, he couldn't handle the truth. So this has me a little bit worried, because this series has been a lot of redemption of Wally West. And I'm a little bit worried because this next issue, the last issue of this series, the last issue of Flash Forward, where is it going to leave Wally? Is he going to have to destroy the planet with his real kids on it? Are these not his kids? Are they just manifestations? Which, if they don't make it out alive, isn't so bad. But does that mean his kids still are out there somewhere? Doesn't mean they're not. We've seen hints that they are, but I'm kind of worried. All this rebuilding, because let's be honest, over the past 10 years or so, probably even longer, the higher ups at DC have kind of had it in for Wally West, and it's so weird to see that he was one of the brightest characters, one of the most fun, hopeful, friendly characters, and we see him basically, in despair. That's what we've seen in Heroes in Crisis, and we're seeing him come out of it in this. And I don't want to see them put us back to that. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I'm hoping Scott Lobdell seems to be doing a good job with his character and seems to have some love for Wally West, and it's really nice to see. And I'm hoping we get a happy ending for Wally. I'm hoping that this salvages how his character was ruined. And what does this mean going forward? Because he's not the fastest man alive. He's the fastest man in the multiverse, is what they say in this issue. So I have a feeling that at the end of the next issue, we're going to kind of see Wally no longer be the Flash, but something new. Kind of like how in the third series of Green Lantern, issue 50, when Hal Jordan became Parallax. Now, this is before all the retcons of the Space Bug and the Rainbow Corps, when he was actually still Hal Jordan and he was taking on a new role, new identity. I kind of wonder if that's what they're going to do with Wally, so that there won't be the two Flashes anymore. I kind of have a feeling they're going to be doing some type of cosmic thing with him. So I don't know. I'm willing to see where we go with this, because I've been loving this series, and this issue has me a little bit worried, and that's good, because when we read these comics, you pick up an issue of Spider-Man, you see him get put in a death trap, he's going to make it out alive. Unless it's a what if, or, in DC's case, in Elseworlds, and anything can happen. But for the most part, he's going to make it through. It's how he's going to do it that we find interesting. But now with Wally West, he's one of the characters that, if this was Barry Allen now, he'll get through it fine. But With Wally now, we don't know. I mean, look what happened with Heroes in Crisis. Anything could happen. So it's kind of exciting again. But come on, we all love this character. Just don't. We want to see him redeemed, or at least get that stupid Heroes in Crisis washed away. So don't tease us with bringing him back with DC Rebirth, and then do that, and then give us a little bit of hope and take it away. I don't think Lobdell's going to do that, but anyway, one other thing, Brett Booth art has still been fantastic. A little bit goofy, I think, a little bit goofier faces. Um, it seemed in this issue. There were some that I don't know just caught me even goofier than normal, but I still like it. I'm still loving this art. And the coloring and the art on his costume looks fantastic. The different shades of red here looks really good. What would I give this book? I go probably 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock because we're dealing with more of the story, why he's doing it, but we still don't know what exactly that magic flashlight he had was exactly doing, other than purifying. There's, I still feel like there's a lot that Tempest isn't saying. I think at this point we should be getting a little bit more of the answers because the big revelation we already knew as the reader. It was new to Wally. Um, other than, like I said, the fact that the planet he's on was actually created by Wally's deepest fears and his you know sense of loss, which was clever. I did like that, and I don't know why I did not peg that in the previous issue. I don't even know because they had been saying that all along that that's what causes this, and somehow I missed it. I don't know, wasn't on my game, but anyway, I'll go 1 o'clock on this. I enjoyed it, and I'm still looking forward to the next issue. A little bit worried, but I'm hopeful, just like Wally is. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.